What is going on, guys? Ronny and Chris on the NBA 2K cast. Chris, things are lit.
Yes, things are hot and heavy. There's a lot of NBA 2K18 news coming in practically every day. I think there was a little bit of news yesterday. So, you know, stuff is always exciting.
I don't know what you're talking about with yesterday.
It's always going to be coming in. So we have a lot to talk about, Ronny. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Obviously, yeah, with assets and with announcements and with press and everything that's going on, there's obviously a lot involved to try to get as much information out about the game. And yet there's still so much to come. So we're going to get into some specifics around that in a little bit. But let's look back at the last couple of weeks, because last week, of course, we had the tech issue. So we wanted to kind of get a catch-all on everything. So the big thing has been the ratings. I think we're up to like 180 some odd NBA players that put out their rating, which is flabbergasting. I don't know any other brand that can kind of have all these guys of influence talking about their ratings and stuff. Some happier than others, but you know, it is what it is.
Yes, and some great articles come out of that. Bleacher Report, Hoops Hype, some great stories that you had to share with Hoops Hype. Actually, some great wedding stories.
I wish I could tell you the non-PG stories, but we, you know, that's a great article. We shared some.
It's really cool stuff that's up on the social channels. Make sure to check those out. Why do players care so much about their ratings, Ronny? It's a great piece that they kind of delve into.
And we talked a lot about it, but I mean, it is really a badge of honor for these guys. Obviously, you know, like we've really loved the support from our fans harassing players to, you know, ask for their rating and stuff. But it's funny, I usually get them in bundles of the same team each day, which makes me think that they're like actually talking about it and, you know, trying to harass us as a gang. So it's pretty fascinating. But
I love it.
Half the league almost.
All my Lakers are fired up. So any motivation I can give my boys, I'm happy.
Clarkson wasn't very happy.
You guys want to get your ratings up? I'm cool with that. Let's get into the playoffs this year, baby.
I mean, it's got to be like at least 9 of the Lakers have asked. So.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And then, you know, not only that, the all-time teams.
Yes.
You know, we announced that feature along with 16 new classic teams. Oh, but wait, there's more.
17, Ronny.
17, which we'll talk about in a second. The all-time teams, of course, are the best players on each franchise, and we revealed 10 of the 30 Bulls, and we revealed 7, I think, of the 15. Did I say 10 of the 30? 10 of the 15 Bulls.
Yes.
And 7 of the 15 Lakers.
Yes.
So, you know, those teams will continue to have their developed rosters, but there's still a lot of teams where people don't know. We revealed Paul Pierce, like that was a big surprise. We revealed Kobe Bryant today on his birthday, like that was a big surprise.
98 overall all-time Kobe.
Yeah, it's impressive.
These matchups are going to be epic. I think so many people who would, you know, defeat which team with the all-time matchups, and I think that's something that you're going to see a little bit more of tomorrow. But I definitely think it's going to be fun to take my all-time Lakers against the all-time Celtics and have them clash. Of course, you saw the all-time Bulls. Who's taken down MJ in his prime with the best Bulls of all time?
You know what, though? That roster, everybody was like complaining that, like, how did Luol Deng and who was the other one?
Noah.
Noah. Yeah, Noah. How did they get on the rosters? Well, Noah was a Defensive Player of the Year. He was a top 5.
Look at his resume.
He was on there for, I want to say, 7 or 8 years. So, like, it wasn't some short stint on the Bulls. He definitely deserved to be there. And the crazy thing about the Bulls is, like, yeah, you think of MJ and Scottie and Dennis, but, like, the rest of their roster over the years was a bunch of role players. And, like, of course, Derrick Rose, which...
In his prime.
Yeah, in his prime. Not a 78 today.
Yes.
Not the 78 version Derrick Rose, but...
Too low, right?
No, it's not too low.
Wow, you think it's too low?
No. I think it's fair. You compare it to a bunch of guys. I mean, he's 18, 5, and 4. Anyway, you and I don't do the ratings as much as people think that we do. But we sure hear about it from the players.
And if you ever like second guess that, Kobe's a 98 all time. So if Kobe was not a 98 all time, he was a 99, then you could actually have that argument. But you can't have that argument. I tried.
I mean, he didn't play that many games. He doesn't play defense. And the same with Carmelo. Like he didn't. He doesn't really play defense. He doesn't pass the ball. I think his field goal percentage was like 41%. Everybody was comparing him to Gordon Hayward, whose rating is 3 or 4 points higher. but Gordon Hayward
Well,
shoots 48% from the field.
One thing we do know is some of
different.
the Walking Dead casts have higher ratings, as we found out on social.
We could talk about
great.
ratings all day, but you guys have seen them, and they'll continue to come out. Last couple days for ratings, so bug your favorite player, and because pretty soon we'll be revealing the top 10 at each position, and by then our game will be not too far from release.
That's right. So let's get in. We have a couple new things to talk about. Also, Get Shook trailer. Awesome. I know you guys were really excited to see that. It's a great first look. People are asking, are we going to see some more very soon? Answer is yes. Very soon we're going to see more. But
we should talk about gameplay specifically.
Sure.
Okay, so there was, of course, a gameplay blog. There will be a second gameplay blog, which will have some play stuff. We're working on a presentation trailer, things that we've done before. Last year was the 11 commentators. This year we have a couple surprises, and obviously there's some gameplay in there. But really, you guys will start seeing gameplay. We'll talk a lot about the New York event in a little bit, but GameStop Manager Show, which I will be at on Sunday, people will. There's a consumer portion of that. So if you happen to be in Vegas the day after the McGregor-Mayweather fight, if you're that lucky, we'll be set up and you can come by and play NBA 2K18.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought up gameplay, because on August 31st there is an event going on, and if you were on Twitter today, I saw a lot of influencers posting about it. We have a little image we're going to throw up here about this event. So let's talk about this, Ronnie. So on August 31st, we are going to have a Run the Neighborhood event, and we've brought out influencers to this event, and on the invites.
We've extended to a lot of people. I think it was about 25 to 30 influencers, somewhere in there. So, and then of course there's going to be press and international influencers. We shouldn't forget about those. I think El Consumer and a couple other guys are coming from our international territories. So it's we really have some cool stuff to show. It's the first look at the game. It's the first look at my career. So we really want as many people to see it. So we thought the best way to do that was A, bring as many influencers as possible, and B, have a live broadcast, which will obviously talk a lot about the event that day. We'll have some influencers on our broadcast. We may have some NBA players on our broadcast, but we're hoping to have a lot more than that as well.
I agree, but let's just.
That's our next broadcast, by the way.
Yeah, let's.
Oh no, actually, that's not true. That's our second to next broadcast. Our next broadcast is this Saturday at the Do event.
Yes.
I know there's a lot going on.
There's a lot. I have a long list of stuff here.
Yeah, there's a Do, of course, the Do event in San Francisco. Twitch.tv/NBA will have Chris and myself on at the Do event in San Francisco. Of course, that's NBA 2K17, but I'm sure we'll definitely have to talk about 2K18. I'll be on the GameStop Twitch broadcast on Sunday evening to talk about 2K18. And then finally, our broadcast next Thursday from New York at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be coming live, global broadcast with our first real look at NBA 2K18.
Yes, very excited about that. But I'm gonna hit pause on a minute.
Yes.
Pause on this conversation for a minute.
Sure.
Let's go to the screenshot that we released yesterday. Obviously, if you haven't heard, a small little trade went down in the NBA world yesterday.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Isaiah Thomas is now a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kyrie Irving is now a member of the Boston Celtics. It makes me want to, I gag a little bit every time I talk about the Celtics. But a big blockbuster trade. You saw right there, Isaiah for the first time in a Cavs uniform. Let's pull that back up, because it's like, it's kind of surreal to look at this. And this is your first look, obviously, at this trade. You see him in the Cavs thread there. Ronnie, IT, Team 2K member. Actually, two Team 2K members swapping teams. What does this mean for next year and how teams are going to be used in the game? Do you think this has implications?
Team 2K members swapping for each other. Really saw that one coming.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, actually here, look, I'm wearing my Team 2K shirt from last year. It's sort of awkward now because half of these guys are not on their same team anymore. So I'm starting to wonder if it's a little bit because of us. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, we have some plans. I've talked about it a lot on social media. We're cooking up some good stuff. We're actually You might see something from Kyrie in the next couple days, which should be pretty cool. We might see something from Isaiah in the next couple days. So we have some fun things planned since they are, such big advocates of 2K. The long-term plan, we'll have more to share in the coming days on that, but it's fun. Like, it is a lot of fun. Yesterday I made the Whoops tweet, and that thing has gotten 120,000 retweets and 200,000 favorites or whatever. Obviously, it's such a great thing that when a trade like that goes down, everybody still thinks about 2K.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And so, we're gonna have a lot of fun with it, and it's really only the beginning with those guys.
All right, so we talked about the all-time teams earlier. This week, we released this image right here of the all-time Chicago Bulls squad. And I want you to just take a look at this for a second, Ronnie. I know we were talking about it a little bit earlier, but who's taken down, presumably 99 MJ, right? And his squad of Bulls here. I love it.
I think there's a few teams that could take that. That's what I was saying.
It's going to be so incredible.
There's going to be a few teams that could take that squad down.
Yes, and like I said, you'll be seeing some more of the all-time teams very soon, and I'm very excited about that because the all-time teams.
Do you think that the deepest all-time team is the Lakers?
Yes.
I think when
the
rosters are unveiled, there's going to be a couple that surprise you.
There's a lot of really great. It doesn't surprise me.
The top 15 guys of
Boston and
Boston,
LA
obviously.
Have
you seen Golden State's roster?
Yeah.
That thing's pretty good too.
It's like today's Golden State's roster plus a bunch of greats.
Yeah, they had a lot of good guys over the years.
Yeah, for sure.
So their roster's pretty sick.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's going to be one fun thing about the all-time teams. It's just a different dynamic. I think we've seen a lot of fans kind of put together all-time teams over the years. Definitely shout out to Mazik. I know he's one of the guys that loves doing that stuff in my league and my GM and all that good stuff. Also, my team fans, everybody's trying to build their all-time rosters in their my team every year. So, to have these teams official and to kind of have these teams rated differently, players in their prime all together, that's the difference, right? It's like before you could put, Kobe there. Let's say you're playing my team. You could put Wilt there, right? But you only have a specific year Kobe, right? Now you're going to have prime Kobe. You're going to have prime Wilt. You're going to have all these players that were in their primes with those specific teams, right? That's important too. So Shaq's Miami rating is obviously different than Shaq's LA rating, and possibly more teams, right?
Well, to celebrate, I think that's really important, and it's driven a lot of conversation. But it's also important for us to continue to push the envelope on classic teams and the single-year franchises that were really historic. So we've revealed 16. Turns out that we worked really hard in the last couple of weeks when we saw this one team keep getting brought up over and over again to introduce it. And I'm working diligently on having the most memorable person from that roster get out and post it on social media. We're hoping to have that today, but it's really up to him. So
awesome.
That will reveal the 17th team. Otherwise, we'll just reveal it tomorrow probably.
Sounds like a plan. Speaking of my team, if you haven't pre-ordered yet, you can pre-order. Of course, we have 3 editions.
We had the blog as well last week.
Yes, the blog dropping last week as well. So much news. Thankfully, no audio issues this week. When you do pre-order, though, you get this, which we'll kind of display right here. Some of you that read the blog know who his teammate is. So yes, it has been unveiled. But the nice thing is you'll get a former teammate of Shaq's, and when you put together those cards, your Shaq card's actually going to raise up a gem level. So you're going to see some really cool things in NBA 2K18.
It's crazy.
Team, as the blog stated and as fans are really excited about. Really, the developers listened to a lot of the fan feedback and really implemented these great things next year. I'm personally excited that we have a draft mode finally in NBA 2K, my team, in NBA 2K18. And this one's pretty cool. 5-player draft mode. You're going to be playing on NBA courts, not the street courts of last year. And you're going to have full rules. And it's going to be fun because you kind of play it like a playoff series. And as you progress, you can either redraw players or you can go through and try to get through to the finals. And then when you reset that playoff run, as I like to call it, you'll have to redraft players, which is really cool. So it's actually a lot of fun.
Players asked for a draft mode. That was definitely one of the most.
It's actually one of my favorite things because it's fast and it's exciting to see. Yeah, it's exciting to kind of play with different players, and I think that's one of the cool things about my team is the people that get out there and don't just play with a certain team or certain players they know. I think it's a great kind of educational device for a lot of people just to play as these different players.
And you know, with that Legend Gold edition, you get not Sapphire. What's the? Wow, my brain is no longer working.
Ruby?
You get Kyrie, you get Ruby Shaq, you get Ruby Mysterious Man, who everybody knows, which turns Ruby Shaq into Amethyst, right? That's Amethyst.
Yeah.
Amethyst Shaq. So you got those 3 guys, and then on top of that, you get 40 packs that will obviously get better as the weeks go along. Once a week, you can get them as long as you diligently get them every single week.
Yeah.
That's a lot of My Team content.
Yeah. And if you want to learn more about My Team, our gameplay blog that dropped as well, we haven't even talked about. Mike Wang did a great job writing that up. And one thing that I just want to reiterate about that blog is I think the one thing that you guys are going to see and feel when the Prelude drops as well, announcement of the Prelude, is when you play the game this year, the goal was we listened to all that feedback on, animations and putting the control more in the user's hands. And that's really the thing that I think when you feel it, play it, when these people come to New York and obviously they're going to have a chance to potentially hop on the sticks and see what it's all about, you're going to feel the difference of NBA 2K18. And honestly, I know I've said this before, but it feels so good. And I think with the gameplay team, all the improvements
we have to work on Chris's vocabulary.
Yes, with all the gameplay improvements that Mike Wang and his team did, you guys are going to be really excited. That being said, as you mentioned earlier, Scott O'Gallagher and Dazar are both working on an AI blog and some of the things that you can expect from the AI, and also just a lot of details and options in the gameplay settings. There's defensive stuff in there that's just amazing to me, and I can't wait for them to kind of dive into that stuff so they can kind of articulate all this hard work that they put into the game. And it all starts with gameplay, and you guys have been giving us a ton of feedback, criticism, love this, don't like this so much, and the producers really, across the board, with everything unveiled so far, have done a great job listening to fans, and I just commend them a lot for that.
Yeah, obviously with the changes in gameplay, it just feels like a different game. So I'm sure we obviously had the influencers in a couple weeks ago as well. Those guys and a lot more will be joining us on Thursday in New York.
And one more thing to that. If you read Mike's blog, some things that they didn't like have already been implemented in NBA 2K18's gameplay. So the team was listening to those guys, and you had a different range of kind of players there. Some guys that were offline, online, park guys, My Team guys, gameplay guys, pro-am guys. So you had this nice, I think, mix of players, and it was good to kind of see them focus on, here's a couple things that we'd like to see tuned.
But they had different opinions in a way because of the different modes that they
But
played.
it was cool to see them kind of all say, we'd like to see this tuned. And you actually saw a lot of that tuned as Mike Wang was talking about in the gameplay blog. So again, always listening. We're in for a really exciting year. I don't think you're going to see 12 patches come out of the game this year and really tweak the gameplay drastically. We heard you on that for NBA 2K17, and I'm really excited to get this party started. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to beat you with my Lakers. I don't care who you pick this year.
We need to figure out when to do that. Obviously, next week. So just to re-encapsulate the broadcast that we are, the very many that we're going to be on in the next week. It's pretty crazy actually to think about. Saturday, do 3X. Chris and I will be there. I think it starts at noon on Pacific
it will start
time.
at noon Pacific time. We'll be live
Twitch.tv/NBA.
Yep, on the NBA
I think
Twitch
at
channel.
3:15 Pacific time Sunday. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure I'll put it up on social. I will be on the Twitch.tv/GameStop broadcast from Vegas. So I go from San Francisco to Vegas, and then on Wednesday we get in with the influencers to New York. Thursday is our event. It's going to be a huge day, and then we go live at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, so 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. All of this stuff will be on social because I know that's a lot to remember, but there are an ample amount of opportunities to see 2K over the next week, both the game will be available for playing at the GameStop show over the weekend and Monday, Tuesday. It'll be available at the New York event, of course, and then it will be available the following weekend at PAX in Seattle. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of gameplay footage out there pretty soon within the hands of our consumers, but we're also have a few more trailers that we discussed earlier coming out as well.
For sure, and I think we have the image of the invite that was sent out. We posted this up. So August 31st at 3:30 Eastern. For those that want to tune in, facebook.com/NBA2K. It's our first look at NBA 2K18's My Career mode. And believe me when I say this is not something that you want to miss. So make sure to tune in for that broadcast. That's going to be August 31st, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll have an RSVP thing up pretty soon on Facebook. And Ronnie, I'm really
I'm sorry I
excited
keep
about
looking at
the
my
31st.
phone. I'm waiting for a certain NBA legend to announce the 17 Classic team. So that's why I keep looking.
Yes. So a lot of exciting
actually, one
stuff.
more thing about the Classic teams. I tweeted this right after we announced the 16 teams. Of course, we would like to work with everyone on the face of the planet in terms of guys that have played in the NBA before. But it takes, I've said this before, it takes two to tango. They need to either be part of the Retired Players Association or have a deal with us. And not, I know this is crazy, but not everybody loves video games for a variety of reasons, so they may not want to be in the game for a variety of reasons. So, and we're not going to put out rosters that are, have half the guys. It's not going to happen. So that's been, some of these teams that we would love to have in there. We can't, and we wouldn't want to do them kind of 50%. So the teams that we put in there, we're very, very proud and excited of.
Absolutely.
And we're very excited for the 17th one. And then, with the all-time teams, that brings our total up to 93.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Which is crazy.
And the thing is, alongside the all-time teams, alongside these 17 new Classic teams, on top of the previously added Classic teams, now we're talking about a lot of NBA history there. And that's
you have your 30 current teams.
That's something that there's a lot of requests.
There's a lot of teams.
And there's a lot of there's a lot of requests for
Yeah,
teams.
of course.
And I don't think that we're going to stop here and feel like, this is it.
No, definitely not.
We're going to continue to work to add more history to the game.
We chase
and more
those guys.
players.
We
Absolutely.
chase those guys every single year. We want to continue to chase them. And honestly, there's been a few years, and you know this better than anyone. There's a guy that came onto our roster this year who put out a tweet last week about us, who basically got pressured into it by the fans and by his kids and by that's a major thing. Like they when they see that the culture talks about our game so much, they want to be a part of it. But some are getting it a little bit later than the other ones. So if you guys want to see your favorite legend in there that's not in there, feel free to reach out to them. They have to fill out some paperwork sometimes. It's really that easy. So
yeah, for sure. And like I said, all these Classic teams, 17 brand new Classic teams, and we've been revealing them on Twitter pretty much every day. And the 17th team is yet to be revealed, should be soon.
Yep.
And if not, by the end of the day tomorrow.
We'll post it tomorrow otherwise.
Really excited about that. And like I said, the all-time team stuff, keep a lookout for tomorrow for something really cool. I'm pretty excited about that one. But there's a lot of really great stuff coming down the pipeline here. And as we get closer to that August 31st event, once again, make sure to remember that 3:30 p.m. Eastern time is when you want to log in and check out what we have in store. Because a lot of people are curious. First look at my career. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
Should be a really good time.
We were pretty clear that the first look at my career will happen then. So should be pretty exciting. And we didn't want to limit it to the influencers. So they are going to have free access to post and cover the event however they want to. And, but obviously we'll have our broadcast as well so you guys can hear and see the reveal for yourselves. From
Yes,
us.
sir.
I feel like there's been 7,000 other announcements we had in the last couple of weeks that are not coming to my head, but I'm sure you guys have been following along, so you know most of them. There's still a lot of work to be done from our side, but we're very excited. We're very much looking forward to seeing the influencers and talk to you guys again on that broadcast next Thursday. Again, 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. Next Thursday from New York. Chris and I will be there. along with our merry friends.
Yes, and if you are in the San Francisco area and can come to the Do 3X NBA tournament,
We'll both be there.
We'll both be there. Come by, stop by, say hello. Come try your hand at some NBA
I'll have some
2K17.
pink diamonds.
Even though we're,
Even though it's a little late for that.
he'll be raining pink diamonds out. I will be talking about the tournament that people are going to play, NBA 2K17, of course. Still some prizes to be had. Actually, they have a chance of winning NBA 2K18 Legend Gold Edition. So that's pretty cool thing to play for, I'd say. So, you know, come by if you're in San Francisco, come compete. You know, think you're the best, you're in the area.
Yep.
Let's find out. And
Yep.
good luck to all the participants there. We'll be covering it live from twitch.tv/NBA on their live stream, starting at noon Pacific on Saturday.
Yep. I think that's it. I mean, again, lots of chances to see us on broadcast in the next 8 days. I'm going to be traveling the country like a madman, but what else is new? So, you know, we very much look forward to continuing to share a lot more info about this amazing game that's coming up. When we're just, 3.5 weeks out now.
Yep.
And we still have our biggest mode to talk about. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I think that's it. So thank you guys as always for tuning in. We will see you either at the Do event, GameStop in Vegas, or next Thursday. You definitely don't want to miss next Thursday. So thank you guys as always, and we will see you next Thursday.